Hi, folks. You can probably guess from your program, being intuitive intellectuals, that I'm Dave Whitmore. And it was my privilege to teach at Champlain for many years before I retired in 2006. And one of the nice things about seeing all of you folks out here is that I was on the team that started the very first master's program back in 2002. And that was scary. We didn't know if it was going to work. You folks sitting here today are living proof that we had the right idea, we did the right thing, and I am delighted to come back and see you sitting here. Champlain was absolutely the best place I ever worked, and I regard the graduate program as being probably the high point of my working career. You will go through 5 or 6 careers in your lifetime, not jobs, but careers. Somebody's told you that before? You will go through multiple careers, whether you know it or not. And you want to be sure that you do well in each career and that you enjoy each career and that you're flexible to change. I did retire, though, and so I left all of this behind. And I started to travel. Matter of fact, I retired on a Friday, and on Monday, my wife and I took off for Newfoundland and Labrador. And we haven't stopped traveling. And it's been great fun. You never lived until you've been charged by a caribou on a dirt road. It's great fun, great fun. I'll tell you that story later if you want to hear it. Okay. Last summer, we did a rather extended tour in Alaska and spent many weeks up there. And we took probably, like all tourists, we took probably 2,500 images, 2 cameras. And rather than do a traditional speech, I thought that I would share probably only 300 or so of those slides with you today. So if I may have the first slide. Okay. No, I'm not. I'm kind of pulling your leg. I apologize. I'm pulling your leg. This is the only slide I've got. And it actually has some relevance. For those of you who can't see it, it says keep exploring on the bottom there. And you can kind of see where it's going to go, where my talk's going to go. This particular monument is about 40 miles down the road in Denali National Park in Alaska. And its role or its function is kind of obvious here because you're in the middle of great scenery. There are birds and animals around and all kinds of neat stuff to see. And you can't just kind of, just sit there on the bench at the park center and, watch the world go by. You need to keep exploring. And I'm going to kind of mess with this because this is what you guys have done. You guys have been exploring. In your graduate program, you have explored yourselves, you've explored others, you've explored, kind of intellectual, ideas, where the answers really are, odd number of problems at the back of the book, the answer's back there, A lot of those answers, as you've discovered, are not there in the back of the book. And that is probably the biggest takeaway from a dynamic graduate student program. And that's what we had tried to build when we did the first program, was something that was dynamic, not textbook, not fact-oriented, but experiential. And so this is sort of an invitation to go out and get your day packed together and get your map and your water bottle and head off into the wild. You folks have done that too, in the course of your graduate program. You've gone on some rocky roads at times, you've met some interesting people, and you've learned a lot. It's been a dynamic process for you. You haven't just sat there, you've been engaged with your fellow students, you've been engaged with new material, you've been engaged with organizations, and you know what works and you know what doesn't work. Sometimes, true confessions, I've fallen off the trail, down 10-foot embankment or something like that. But always pick yourself up and you get back up, and that makes you wiser. And you have done the same kinds of things in your graduate program. You've fallen down sometimes, but you're wiser as a result. Okay? So a couple of other things. The other things you've done has been to reflect on what you've done. When you're out hiking, and if you've done extensive hikes or gotten away from the cell phone coverage, which is always a good idea, by the way, when you're out there, you have a chance to sit on a rock, and you have a chance to look at the scenery, and you have a chance to think about yourself. Where am I? Where am I going? Where have I been? And you get a chance to contemplate in ways that our society it makes it rather difficult today because we are always with our cell phones, we are always engaged in media, we're always engaged in work, something like that. So the reflection that you've done in the program is a little like the reflection that you do out here. You get a chance to sit back and think about yourself, and it makes you a better person. The thing now is, given that you're about to be given your hood and your degree, is where do you go from here? Where do you go from here? Lunch is the simple answer. Okay. But on Monday, you're going to take your intellectual day pack. You're going to put your map in it. You're going to put your water bottle in it. You're going to go off. You're going to do neat things. And to echo President Finney's words, you should do good things for people. You should think about others. You should have that extra energy bar for the hiker that you meet along the road, or an extra water bottle for them. Think about others. Think about doing good things, for the world as a whole. And it's not hard to do. It takes just a very little bit of effort. You have in your day pack lots of personal and intellectual skills. Continue to practice them. And now I'm going to tell you something that's very scary for you. Okay? You've spent all this time, all this money getting your degree. Given any advanced academic degree in $2, you can get a good cup of coffee. Scare you? Okay? It shouldn't, because that academic degree gives you the ability to do things. But unless you do them, it's worthless. So use that degree. Use the skills that you've acquired, and don't just sit back and look at those letters and pat yourself on the back. Don't be complacent in your future life. I'm going to leave you with a quote. I've been talking about hiking, and I'm going to probably invoke the spirit of my late high school English teacher and mix metaphors here. Okay, I'm going to leave you with a little quote from Mark Twain. This is a nautical quote. 20 years from now, you'll be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones that you did. So throw off the bow lines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, and discover. Okay? Thank you very much.